So today I'll be replacing this mirror. Reason being, it's kind of held together with tape. Why, you might ask? Because when I'm backing out of my garage, I wasn't paying attention and clipped the side of the garage weather strip casing. So, yeah, not very happy. But I ended up finding a used OEM on eBay for about 90 bucks is what I got them down to. So, it's actually in remarkable shape, really. It doesn't have hardly any defects on it, so, or marks, just a couple little scrapes here and there. But really good shape, and it's OEM. So I didn't like the way a lot of the aftermarket mirrors looked. And I'm kind of OCD, so one mirror has to match the other. I'm not going to replace them both. And I don't tow enough stuff to justify these ridiculous tow mirrors. Well, first things first, you'll notice there's a little plastic rivet there. One of those supposedly push-in reuse rivets. Well, it snapped really easy, and that may have to do with the cold. I don't know. But anyways, we got that to deal with, looks like. The mirror access is behind this. Now, I can tell you that two of the bolts stick below that seam, so just taking that off will do us no good. And we have a Phillips screwdriver there. I'm assuming it's just going to pop off all the way around, like every other door panel I've taken off does, but I guess we'll find out. This was a bit of a surprise, though. That snapped super easy. So, yeah, I ended up just prying it off, and the middle piece fell through that hole in the door, and the outer piece is gone. So next we'll just take this screw out here. I apologize for the lack of cameraman support, but if you watch my channel much, you know I don't really have one of those yet. I'm working on getting a better camera though, so instead of just using my phone for everything. So we got that screw out. Okay, so this is what I got. I got a panel clip tool here. So we're going to go ahead and try to go around this. I wonder, I'm going to take this off first before I try to take this little corner piece off, just because I don't exactly trust it. With as cold as it is, I don't want to try to take this corner piece off. Just prying it, I want to get this other piece off here first. And make sure I'm not doing anything stupid there. I think there may be something back behind here too, actually, come to think of it. Okay, and that, yep, there is. There's a screw back there. And this just has 4 of those kind of, you know, prong clips, dog leg clips, if you will. All I did on that, as you can see, I just came on the handle side and just popped it off. There's another Phillips screw back behind there. So let's take that out. And usually I have my nice snap-on number 2, but it's in the front garage where I've been doing snow blowers and stuff. So, alright, so now I'm going to look around. I don't think there's anything else. It's my first time taking this panel off, so I apologize. I'm going to try to use my panel tool here though, so I don't damage anything. It doesn't seem to be able to get back there very easy. Okay, I'm looking back there. I see one of them right here at the bottom. And I'm going to try to save the clip here. I see it doesn't want to come off very easily. In fact, somebody's been in this before, and that one clip is not doing very good. If I can start up here any easier. Yeah, somebody's opened this before. I'm missing a panel clip here, so somebody's been in this before, sadly. So let's try to save this one. So we got that one out. There's another panel clip right here. I don't think you guys can see that, but right here on the edge there's another one. About, I'd say a quarter of the way up. And I cruise along. There's another one here. So that one come out of the door frame, so that's not cool. I want to see, kind of work along the bottom now, because I don't want to go too far one direction here. Let's look under here. So I got that clip loose. There's another one here. That one loose. Yeah, somebody was definitely in here before. But I'm so far only have one busted one and one missing one. Dadgummit. So there's one right about there. Yep, that one popped off. And this one's missing. So in theory this should come loose. Nope, there's another one behind. So after you get the perimeter loose, I guess you just kind of start pulling. Okay, which I did, and which I do. So now we got to deal with this top piece in the corner, and I don't know how to do that. So it almost acts like we have to get this off first. So I got this unhinged, and yeah, that's acting. Like normally I would think there would be a, well, guess we can try a little bit of pry on that, but golly, I didn't really want to pry this one first. I don't exactly see a clip behind it, but there is. Okay. So this one's clipped as well, so that's good to know. Okay, it actually comes off with that. So, ooh, yeah. I've got. So this is cool on these. I didn't realize this. So kind of like a lawnmower cable or a typical, basically sheathed cable. These don't have those metal rods that come through the door that used to be a giant pain in the ass to go to mechanical things. These are a flexible. Here. So I'll show you. These are a flexible little cable. And it's just kind of like a lawnmower cable. You hook into your controls and your handle. It's pretty neat. Easy as pie. This is what I was showing you in the back of here though. So that clip, of course that piece is still in there. But yeah, so the back piece on this is clipped. So, but now we can access, whoops. And now we can access these 3 bolts to take the mirror off and just unplug the mirror here simply. Of course it's got that kind of clip on there, but okay. Doing this crap one-handed really sucks. So I'm gonna set this down. Okay, folks, so sometimes the answer is right in your face, okay? But there's a tab on the bottom. I'll show you. Maybe you can see a little better. There's a tab on the bottom here. There you go. So this is really all you have to do. Okay, I don't know if you see, there you go. I think that's the #1 phrase on YouTube. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's a tab right on the bottom. See that? And all you do is just squish that tab. We'll try it from this angle. Okay, so you just grab, squish that tab and pull. So, depress it, pull. Okay, at this point we got to take these out. Okay, so my guess is, let's see. Yeah, it's a 10, of course. So, if you, you know, lost all your 10 millimeters, you're going to need to find one, preferably a deep well. So we'll just take these 3 bolts out, or there's 3 nuts off these bolts here, the main mounting bolts. So this is one of the easiest things. I mean, these aren't very difficult at all. Pretty easy procedure here. Not rocket science. But sometimes there's tips and easy things. So on these flange heads, right, it'd be pretty easy to take that flange and catch it on the inside of this door. So what I suggest is you do this by hand after you get them loosened, because you don't want those falling down inside the door frame. That would suck, right? It's going to ruin your day. So I put one hand under for assurance, and then as I take this off with my hand, I try to tilt it up as much as I can. So I'm coming out with them on there. And this one will be the hardest because it's kind of lower and it's kind of behind the door panel a little bit. Plus, at this point, and I'm not certain, it doesn't seem to be load bearing, but the last nut sometimes is the hardest just because it's got more weight on it if things are shifting and moving. So anyways, yeah, one little tip: keep that deep well snug on the nut. And make sure you're very delicate taking these out, because you don't want to drop one on that in the door panel there, or in the door frame. So if you look, so I've got one that stayed in right there, and the one that I thought was missing just really wasn't even attached anymore, so it's there. This is that guy that goes into that hole, which is some stupid plastic rivet. I hate those button head plastic rivet things. So anyways, at this point, the mirror is, we got all the nuts, it's unplugged, should walk out, maybe a little tight. You can tell, this mirror's a little busted. Alright. Woo! So yeah, you're just gonna, it's kind of an awkward fit. It's a very tight fit, and that's why it is the way it is, but they don't give you a lot of clearance through those holes. These holes here, not a lot of slop. It's pretty tight against the bolt, so you're just gonna end up walking it over all the threads is all you're doing, trying to walk it back out. So stay persistent with it, wiggle with it, tug on it, and you'll get it through. So I'll show you what it looks like from the outside. Okay. So you can kind of see, got a little dust there. So at this point, we're going to reverse our process of what we've been doing. I promise you guys, I'm sorry, especially for my subscribers. I know that my camera work needs help. I'm trying to get an actual camera instead of using my phone for everything. Life gets busy, you know, so you try to do what you can. So we're going to install our new mirror here. And I swear, those threads must act like a ring shank, because they sure don't mind going in, but man, walking them out's a pain in the butt. So I don't know if that inner piece in there moves a little bit or what, but pushing it in is no problem. Taking it out is a pain in the butt. So let's see, I'm going to start these by hand. Again, being very careful to not lose these down inside the abyss. Kind of got that one set there. So one of the reasons I set the top one first is that so when I go to set the bottom ones, I don't accidentally push the whole mirror out and lose a nut in the bottom inside of the door frame. So I've got the mirror secured, and I'm not going to lose any nuts down inside of the door frame, hopefully. So So this one I'm going to probably put on the end of here, just given the angle of this. Kind of just, like I said, I'm going to start at the, I'm going to tip the socket up and then put it on the end of the bolt and then start turning once I get it centered on the bolt. So, like I said, last thing in the world I want to do is lose one of those in there. So let's go ahead and tighten this up. By the way, Matco, I like Snap-on too. I'm using a Snap-on 10mm here, 1/4 inch drive. I have found Matco in the shop that I've managed for 10 plus years. Matco is just every bit as good in my opinion. Sometimes it's about the feel of the wrench too, and not that you can stand a semi-truck on it, but Craftsman wrenches can be some of the most comfortable ones because they don't have the sharp edges on the side. I mean, if you're turning a wrench a bunch, that sharp edge starts to dig into your hand, and you'll build up calluses over time, but they can dig into your hand and they can become uncomfortable. It's kind of why I like Craftsman sometimes, because they got more of a flat surface. But some of the Snap-ons have quite the pitch on the edge of the wrench. Not all of them, but some of them do. And it's kind of, Matco really doesn't. Those are some of the more comfortable wrenches to use in my opinion too. This is that ADV. This is one of the fine-toothed 1/4 inch ratchets they have, and I tell you what, it's a beaut. So, oh, and by the way, I didn't know if I started off with saying this, but Merry Christmas, YouTube. Christmas is only a couple days away here, and I wanted to start it off by saying that, but I'll end it with that as well. So, anyways, Merry Christmas. Before I forget, we're going to continue on here. I'm going to go ahead and plug my mirror in. So, I'm going to assume the mirror works. If it doesn't at this point, even if the motor's bad or something like that, like I said, I got it off eBay, I'm going to use it until I get the replacement or my money back anyways. Or if I really had to, and maybe if I got intelligent, I could tear the motor out of this one that broke by hitting the side of the garage and put it in this one. But this is the company I bought it from, all they do is sell mirrors. So I'm hoping they test them before they send them out. So, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and try to get this little clip out of here too and not lose it into the hole. That's kind of making me a little nervous. Okay, got that little clip out. I'm going to go ahead and put that back on this guy here that's missing it. So, that he came out of. I don't know why it come out of that too. It shouldn't have come over that, but it did. Okay, so at this point I'm going to go around and take all the ones like this that didn't come out and put them back in the door panel. So let me do that, we'll get set and we'll go forward. Okay guys, so I got all the clips back on that were stuck in the door that didn't come off of the panel. And I went ahead and I just set this top in and seated it first. Now remember, this guy here is part, well, more or less part of the main frame. So I'm just making sure I've got all the spots lined up. At this point, make darn sure you got your nuts tight and your mirror plugged in, okay? And then just kind of make sure everything is lined up all the way around before I start popping things in. And I'll start with this one here. So I kind of got it started. I'm going to come up here, start this one. Okay, make sure I've got all that popped in right. One thing to be aware of is you see that plate in there, that green plate that this screw sets into. And there's one there as well. Make sure those are set so that they didn't fall off. And then you're going to have to take this panel back off again and then reset those so you have something to put the screws into. But luckily mine are in the correct position. So, kind of looking, there's my next one there. Okay. And I know there was one here in the center, so I popped that one in. Okay. So just gingerly go around and put some pressure on the sides. Work your way down. Okay. There's that. I thought there might have been one in here, but I don't think so. I just got the bottoms. I'm going to take a quick peek. Make sure we're somewhat set on those. Okay. I feel like a chiropractor. Okay. Alright, so I think we're set. Looks like we're flush all the way around. Looks to be so. I have to go get a new one of these because I broke it. That hole's lined up. That hole's lined up. Now, if you have mistaken identity on which screw goes where, I remember, well, I guess that doesn't make sense. The more rusty one I thought come out of the deal there. The black one goes in here, and then your chrome one goes behind there. So yeah, your black one goes in here. Don't forget to put these back. You can kind of tell by the size of the head too, and how they set. In theory. Got this old electrician screwdriver. So my good set's in the front garage. Now I'm back here in the back garage. So, and you will have a little cloth thing that fits in there. I don't know where mine run off to. I never did see it today, so anyhow. This one here. Alright. Bam. Okay. Last little piece of trim to go in here. That really irritates me that I broke that. But I have a sneaking suspicion that somewhere between 92 and 95.6 of those get broken every time these are taken apart. And I'm guessing in Wyoming it's closer to 100% in the wintertime. Like it is now. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and kind of tug on this, come around. It seems like I got all the door panel clips set. So this one, I'm going to look at how this lines up in there. Open that slightly. And this should just pop in theory. And voila. Cool. Now, I'm going to go ahead and save the glass out of this. Who knows? I'm known for saving old parts, and then eventually something comes up useful. Not always, but sometimes. So let's see if this mirror works. One thing I do want to show you, YouTube, if you know somebody that's good at custom splash screens, pretty cool photo on my Kenwood. If I don't say so myself, or do say so myself. So your controls over here, we're going to go ahead and hit the right. The key on. Look at that. Moves in. I'd say to a pretty good degree. Moves out. Wow, it goes out quite a ways. I don't know why it would go out that far. Anyways, there's the side of my truck. Let's go down. Good maneuver down. Let's go up. The motor sounds pretty healthy too. So yeah, cool. Successful install. So, anyhow, YouTube, I hope this was helpful. I hope that somebody out there just didn't know what they may or may not be getting into doing a Tundra mirror. Mine's a 13, by the way, so 08 to 13. Would all be just like this. This is a very easy repair. But again, for some people that have never done such a thing, it may not be such an easy repair. So, you know what I mean? Like, that's the point. That's one of the things I'm trying to do with my channel is help people to be reliant, self-reliant, and we can all learn from each other and try to save each other money and grow together as a human species, if you will. It's just, that's kind of why I do these things. That's why I've done my washer video. That's why I do a lot of my small engine repair video. I learn things and figure it out. Recently, that's a furnace in that box, in case you didn't know. I should have done a video on it, but I didn't. I may at some point, but the motor in there was squealing really loud when you kick it on, and it's designed like a squirrel cage in a blower motor on a truck, so there's no carrier bearing. The only bearings involved are inside the motor. Motor's $250. That's not a cheap furnace. It's a high efficiency furnace. It's a Bryant. I ended up removing the squirrel cage assembly out on the slide, pulling the motor out of it, and I worked. So this is just a tip. I probably am expounding on a video I shouldn't right now. Let's see, where's it at? Oh, it's not in here, it's somewhere in the garage. I don't know if I have another can here. So this can's about empty. Inforce, right? So it's penetrating fluid. This is just an example, so if you're new to my channel, these are kind of things I do to try to help people. But check it out. I took and I worked that shaft back and forth I needed in that motor, and I kept spraying that penetrating fluid down in the shaft. Eventually, it broke free and just started spinning really nice. I sat there and spun it by hand a lot, and the bearings still sounded good. Everything sounded good in it. So I put it together. 4 days later, it still starts up quiet and runs beautifully. So again, that's the reason I'm doing this channel, is to try to help save people money. Nobody had ever done a video on one of those before, and after the fact, I thought, dang it, I should have done that. So sorry I missed that one on you guys, but anyhow, this is for a Tundra mirror, and like I said, I hope it was helpful to you guys. Like I said in the past, if you had followed me for my Suburban, I apologize. I hate to inform you, but I did sell my Suburban. All I did was work on the damn thing. The amount of videos I put on there was probably, if you guys are to check my Suburban videos, it's probably a 50th of all the repairs I did on that thing. Constantly breaking down, and I ended up pulling the whole dash apart to do the blend door HVAC, the vane motors in there, and that was a pain in the butt, man. So I bought this Tundra recently. It's a 2013, so I don't know what all we're going to do on it together, but I'll keep making videos, and I still have my 06 minivan and my 92 Chevy truck, so stay tuned. Plenty more repair videos coming. Like I said, this was a simple one, but sorry to ramble on, folks. It's just a little bit of channel explanation in case you hadn't been following me. Again, I'm looking forward to getting an actual camera and a tripod, so I don't have to sit here and mess with my phone all the time. I know it's annoying to you guys, and sometimes the audio isn't that great, and I just want to make good videos. So with that, like and subscribe, forgive me, like and subscribe if you want, if this was helpful, and leave comments if you have any comments, if you have any suggestions, if you have any questions. If there's anything else I can help you with on it, please let me know. But as always, stay classy, Wyoming. Thanks for joining me, folks, and Merry Christmas. I hope that you have a Christmas filled with joy, family, and friends. And you know what? If you can, play a little rugby. It's good for you. Christmas time is the best time to play rugby. Get your friends, go out in the frozen meadows, toss the ball around, hit each other. It's fun. Give it a try. Thanks, guys. Like I said, thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas.